one of the faces of Young De Wereld Draait Door, and you've done some other things, but I didn't know of you. So we were together in a panel talk, and it was about the third culture kids, which I never heard of before they reached out to me. For the people who don't know what the third culture kid term means, it basically means that if you were born, if your parents, help me a little bit. If your parents are from another country from where you were born, right? So basically bicultural.
If you're bicultural and then you have this identity from the culture you're born in, or the country you're born in, and then you kind of have this third culture of being a bicultural child, as in, you know, your parents' culture, you know, the culture from the country you're born in,
and
but then who are you? And that's the third culture.
That's the third culture kids. So we are third culture kids. And did you know of the term before they reached out to you? Because I didn't.
I knew about code switching, which is the phenomena of changing your personality based on the language you're speaking.
Okay, so that's exactly what triggered me, because that panel talk was in Dutch. It was in Compagnie Theater. We were speaking Dutch, and they were talking about code switching, which I also never heard of. But also code switching is, that we can quickly, third culture kids can quickly code switch. We assimilate to the
person we're speaking to, the situation, the workplace.
And I've always wanted to live in London. So when you were talking and you were like, I can code switch. I'm like, whoa, I was so impressed. So tell me about this code switching, because also for the people watching this or listening to us now, they're like, whoa, does she lives in the Netherlands? Like, yes, you do. You're Dutch, but your English is so on point. So
thank you so much.
Can you tell me about that?
For me, growing up, because my dad is from Morocco, my mum's born in the Netherlands, and I was this kind of mix of both of them, and I found my peers online. And I feel like knowing the English language, especially when you're from a country that has a very unique language, not a lot of people speak Dutch. And so the information you have, if you only speak Dutch, is very limited.
Yes.
And also people's perceptions of you are very limited, in the sense that people don't tend to be a big fan of Moroccan people
in the Netherlands
due to representation. And so to me, knowing English and being able to step into this different personality was to see myself reflected in other people more often. So when I watched English TV shows, or if I spoke to people from different countries, I was like, hey, you also have this same problem of you don't know who you are. Your parents are from a different place. This kind of shared immigrant experience that a lot of kids have, you know, my parents don't say I love you to me. And it's like, oh, that's normal. I was about to call Child Protective Services because I thought my parents were really weird, but your parents are the same thing. And it was this discovery of my parents, of my dad came here, and moving to a different country is difficult. And
were you born here?
Yeah, I was.
Obviously,
but then moving to London for 8 months and then America for 3, with the knowledge of the culture, and my dad just coming, you know, to Holland, not really knowing anything about culture or language, and to respect his trauma and to find resources in English that explain to me that trauma, that experience, things like code switching, third culture kids. You feel seen. And in Holland, we tend to be behind a bit in positive representation. So for me, I was able to take these things in English and this personality I built up in English and translate that into Dutch.
Well, I can relate so much to this because, as for me, my parents are Ghanaian. I'm Ghanaian too. They were born there, came here. I was born in the Netherlands, but I always felt connected to the English culture, like British and American culture. And
a much larger Ghanaian community as well.
And for me it was more like I looked up to the people there. I could connect with them when I was traveling. We had all these similar things. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is also, I always say it in every episode, but this is one of the reasons why this podcast is in English, because like you said, speaking Dutch is limited. I don't really feel like I'm understood here. And when I heard the term third culture kid, I'm like, that's it. That's who I am.
Our experience is very much a shared experience and English provides that connection with other people.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of words that we use to express our emotion that don't exist in Dutch.
Exactly.
Privilege, certain kinds of fragility, certain kinds of phenomena, like third culture kids.
Yeah.
The Dutch conversation is not there yet, or the Dutch public awareness is not there yet.